And hello everyone, today I'm going to make a video about the new input system on Unity. So it's actually only on preview. So you can see there, it's right, uh, well, I cannot say it's right preview package in use for this project. So you need the Unity um, Unity 2.19.1 at least to use uh, the the new input system on Unity. And then once you download it and install it, you can go in Windows Package Manager, go to Show Preview Package, be loading a bunch of package. Well, you cannot say it. That's normal. There. Okay, perfect. So it load a bunch, and if you scroll a bit, you can have input system. Here, you click on install, you wait a bit, maybe you restart Unity, and then you can work. I'm just wanna remove it. Okay, just that. Okay, so the the first thing you need to do is to go in create and then all the way down input action, and let's go input master. So this is the main part of the Unity new new system. So you got three columns. The first one is action map. The second one is action. The third one is properties. So you have different action map depending on where you are. For instance, you can have an action map when for the player, for the menu, for the pause menu, for example, and then a bit of action different between the action maps. Like for the players, could be like uh, move, look, shoot, reload for FPS, for instance. And on the menu, it's like play, option, and everything. Um, and it action have like a binding, and you can set it up with properties. So first, let's create a first action map, call it player. Let's do a second one for like the menu. We're gonna create new action like shoot. Be easy. Be easy. So it will only be button, and you can see that's a new thing. You can see by captured map to key or by location of key. So that means like if you have a different layout than a QWERTY one, like the US one, typical one. If you click, like for instance, I got the RZT keyboard. It's a French keyboard where, for example, the A and the Q are switched up. So if I press the A button, it's show at the Q, and if I press the Q button, it shows as A. So that's like allow you to don't care at all about whether you have to adapt for each kind of layout of keyboard layout. Everything is already working, no matter how. Well, like mm, let's do like space. Okay, space and add other one for like a gamepad. So a gamepad like right shoulder, perfect. So right shoulder is like the RB and R1, I think, on like both Xbox and PS4 gamepad. And then you can see here you have like control scheme. So what control scheme is depending on what kind of devices you're using. So you can add like one for the keyboard. So you need well, a keyboard. Oh yeah, you can not set, but I'll have like a list on the left side, like right here, like showing a bunch, a lot, to be honest, of different uh, devices, and you can like select the one you want. I cannot show you, I'm sorry. Well, just like save, create another one. Uh, let's get gamepad, and we will work under PS4 DualShock gamepad or Xbox One gamepad. Let's press save. So the gamepad button is for the gamepad, and the space button for the keyboard. I can like add the old control scheme or like select the one I want. So if I want to like edit the keyboard thing, I can click here and only have the keyboard button. Same thing for the gamepad. So now I'm gonna save my asset. Go there, generate a C# class. I'm gonna just put it in script. And here, no, just script. I think that would be enough. Apply. Okay. So now I have an import master here and a perso script with like the script on my camera. Yeah, this is like my character, so it's only like an empty scene with just a capsule collider, well, a capsule, and then the perso script, and attached to it a main camera, and again, so I mean, if I move my camera, it's gonna also move my gun. So let's go onto the code. So, um, first thing first, you need. Oh, I forgot to delete it. The import. So using Unity.import system. Then it's a different stuff. Or if you like already saw another YouTube video on the import system, that was the old behavior. Now you don't have to add every function as uh, an event listener, but the whole class will be itself the event listener. So you have to implement input master. Well, because the name of my script and the name of that thing is input master, so I will put input master there. Dot I, and you can see I menu action or I player action. So I'm gonna use the player, well, gonna go there, the player action map. But if you want to add also, uh, another one like the menu thing, gonna be input master dot I menu actions. You can have like both of them on the same script, but you will need to do quite a few stuff I will show you to you later on. So first thing you need to add the invert listener, so it's like public on the name of the action. So here's on shoot, and it's a long name input action dot callback context context. Okay, up public void unshot. Sorry. Um, and then if I go back now to Unity, press play. Okay, if I press space, it's working. It's not. Yes, for sure, because I forgot something. I'm not really good at teaching things, so I'm sorry for like it's not really great, but I'm trying my hardest. So you need to enable them, enable your control, so it's bit easy. It's only 2 lines, well, approximately. So we need to declare like a variable of type input master. Let's call it controls. Yeah. Controls equals new input master. Everything's so easy now. And then controls dot player dot enable. If you use the player action map, you can like have the controls dot menu dot enable, but you will need to also implement the input master dot I menu actions, which means you will also have to like a public void on menu action. Well, for each action on the action map menu. But you can do this. It like can be useful. Well, if you are on the pause menu or something, like you don't have to change your your input. The only thing you have to do like control.player.disable and controls.menu.enable. That will be super easy. And the last thing you need to do is controls dot player dot set callbox this. Why this? Because this is a class with the input with inherits, well, implements to be honest, the input master dot apply action. So you have the callback here, everything's fine. So I'm gonna put a debug dot log should right here, and now if I go back to Unity, oops, wrong button, there on Unity, I press play, and now if I press like play, well, not like space, or yeah, only space. I didn't buy left click. Okay, I should have. Well, you see you have like shoot 3 times every time I click on space. So if I click again, gonna show it 3 more times. Well, no, 3 more times. So I click it 3 times, it's like shown nine times. So why? I'm gonna add just a binding for the mouse and the left click. Where is the left click? Left button. Here I go. Perfect. So, well, just I just need to save the asset. Don't forget to save it. It's always like the only problem here. If I go back to the code, well, I don't have to change anything. It's already working. If I can use my mouse as I should. Everything is okay. But the problem I got is should is called several times. So if I go to the input master, well, well, that was the old version. So that input version, you'll see this is like a JSON for the file asset input master the input action, and we will set up a bunch of code, and the only part that matters is that one. You can see that you have 3 phases. We have the started, the performed, and the cancel phase. So the started is like when you press, the perform is like button down, the all get button down, And the cancel is when you is get button up. Um, you can just like comment those two lines, and that's also two lines. If you want to have shoot that it's called only once, but um, every time you're gonna change your input master is gonna generate a new C# file and started and perform and cancel everything will be like the that way. So you're gonna have to command everything each time you change your input actions. Though the other option is using the context variable. So you can have a if context dot phase equals input action phase dot performed, or it's much quicker, just context dot performed. You can also like started or think it's cancel. Yeah, cancel. So dot performed and then debug show. Like I go back now to Unity. I press play. Left click only once. Space only once. And if I hit the right bumper, I call it like that way, right bumper on my gamepad, it's also working. Well, so that was for the binding, but you can have also for the movement, you can have not a binding, but I would call it 2D vector, so like the D-pad. So D-pad, it's gonna be on the not for the gamepad. Well, on color scheme, D-pad is for the gamepad. My mistake. There you go. So, I think that was only one then. Yeah, it's like a glitch here. You can see it. Okay, you can see. Well, there's a menu here where you can select the button, but the D-pad is not always showing. It's like you have the button east, north, south, west, and then down, left, right. This is the D-pad, and then we have the left shooter with like down, left, right, up, and that's the left stick. Well, D-pad, so that it's pad up. You can see it. It's right D-pad, and I gotta do it down. That's left, and that's right. Okay, I'm gonna add another one. This time as WRSD. So it will be keyboard for everyone. And if I press Z, oh, wait, if I press Z, it's called Z. But if I go to listen and I type Z, you could get W because same thing on the other T keyboard. It's called that way, and it's not like the QWERTY thing. So like the A and Q are switched, and the Z and W are also switched. That's the main difference between the two layouts. So W, I'm gonna hit S, I'm gonna hit Q, well it's A, and a D here. Well, so that means that if I change my layout to like go on QWERTY, it was also worked. But now if I press play, there is a problem because I don't have the movement thing. Okay, now it's working because I didn't save it. Okay, now it should be, yeah. Now I have a error, so I need to go to the codes and add something really similar, but it's weird called on movement. Alright, that way, perfect. Um, if action performed, uh, move. Well, I forgot one thing. If I go back to Unity, I go here and click continue. So that means that at each frame, so at each update, um, you can have like the on movement, um, on movement function code. Sorry. Why is that? That means like if I stay pressed to Q, I will always goes left. Well, so on A, sorry. On A, I will always go left. But without the continuous thing, if I press on uh, A, I will only go left one time, like on one frame. That would be quite ridiculous. So that means if I go to like a lot on left, I'll have to spam my A A key as much as I can. Well, now get back to the code. Just gonna save it. Go back to the code. Perform moved, and if I want to like have a value, it's gonna be var. Let's go t context. Up context dot read value as vector 2, and if I debug dot log t, it's gonna show up as a vector. So we're gonna use this to have the different values and everything. So you can see there, oh, sorry, forgot to change. Now it's working, and there you have the different values. So if I say press, yeah, on the forward key, you can see it's climbing super fast here, and this is climbing also because we don't call out things. I can also use my gamepad. Well, that's that thing. Yeah. But there's a lot of stuff we can talk about, but one of the stuff I want to talk about is the interaction and protocol thing. So the interactions, it's not really useful, honestly. It's like the press tab, whole things. I don't work on lots on it, so I'm not sure how is it really working, but on the processor, you can see it. Well, you have a lot of options like Android compensate direction and Android compensate rotation, the clamp, the invert, the invert vector 2, vector 3, the normalize, and the scale. So using, for example, the scale thing for a factor like 10, um, that means that every input will be multiplied by factor. So it's 10, so now, okay, it's normalized. No, I didn't save. That's the goal. That's why. So now, yeah, still normalized. Well, um, put only one there. But on the code, when you get the read value, you can the scale thing will be automatically. So why is it useful? It's useful, for instance, if you have to have a different sensibility on for example, on you different sensibility between like your mouse when you're moving around and your gamepads. So you can have like for the what's more useful like on well look and here I think that was that thing. Yeah, I think that was it. So it's like right stick. Can't remember how I call it. Maybe it was just a regular binding. And it was left stick, right stick X, and one look from right stick Y. And you can also have some. No, that's what I meant. Have binding with like the mouse and the X on the mouse. So the same function will be used, but if I move my mouse, it will be quite a bigger value than if I move my right stick, my joystick. So I can add here a processor with a like scaling version of 10, and everything will work perfectly. Um, but if I want to change it through codes, this is a bit harder. I can like just show you like the old version of what I made. So there's a lot of possible things to do. You need to do it before the enable and the set callbacks if you're gonna change something. So here I go. You need to do it before that thing. But for example, so the move Y is like for the camera when on the Y things, and there's also move X. So there's three possibilities. The first one is like create a binding, create a path of the binding. So if I go back to Unity, the path, it's that little thing there. Um, it's a bit, yeah, it's better that way. So like right stick dot x slash x. So gamepad right stick y, and you can have add a processor and then controls dot player dot move dot ibn in your thing. So that means that you can change your binding and change the processor, but it will not show its own the Unity thing. You can only like do it there, so you just the input binding, then the pass, so gamepad, right stick, or keyboard, left click, for instance, or mouse Y for the same thing. You can add a processor, like scale factor 10, so like multiply the value by 10, so have like a different sensibility on the mouse and on the gamepad thing. And if you want to add it, it's controls.player, well, or menu on every action map you want. The name on your action, so move Y, and then I bending and you bind. If you want to update a bind, so if you want to like change the sensibility or add a dead zone for gamepad or anything you want, you can type this. So while bending syntax control player move Y, so this is the name you can set up here and change bandwidth path. For instance, if for me will be like controls.player.look dot change binding with path, and that will be here. Right stick uh, slash X. And then I can like modify it with like bindex syntax with processor, binding syntax. There's a bunch of them. Um, with groups, with interaction, with name, with processor, got a bunch of them, etc. Everything you can like do with Unity here, you can do the same on the code. You will have to look a bit of the on the documentation, but it's honestly quite easy. Well, now if I can change button, it will be like the same thing, but it will be with path and not with processor. For instance, if I use this code for reload is not affected, but that was right shoulder, right? Okay, if I put right shoulder here, and then I go on the code, just on the Unity thing, I just need to add the onlook thing. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's give it empty. Then I go back to Unity. Let's play. I put that thing. And now, if I want to show, I can either left click, space, or I can right button, or I can button north. Did that not work? That was supposed to. Yeah, yeah. I should have kept that thing. Going to codes. Up here. And it's reload is shoot. And now, if I go back to my code, press play, to Unity, sorry, I press play. If I press right shoulder, it's not working anymore, but if I press button north, it will work. So you can change your bind here, or you can change your binding with sticking a whole new bind. This is the both option, both way to make it. Well, I hope that helped you a lot, and I think that will be all for me, and bye.